Officials and family members unveil a new monument remembering those who died in the July 2022 flood. And officials gather in Letcher County to discuss plans for a new prison. We'll have an update on where that project stands.
And at the 6 o'clock hour, we're still seeing temperatures in the mid-90s. How long will this heat last? I'll have the answer in a few minutes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
It's been more than 2 years since the July 2022 flood, and now a new monument in downtown Hazard remembers the victims. WYMT's Amelia Lee was at the unveiling earlier this afternoon. She joins us now live. Amelia.
Steve, dozens of people came out to this unveiling here in downtown Hazard earlier this afternoon. And those who came together say that they were able to get through this tragedy together because they are one in Eastern Kentucky. The unveiling started at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and they started throughout the ceremony by reading all 46 names listed here on this monument behind me.
Aaron Mick Crawford. Gilla Ann Miller.
The monument
Tony
to remember
Calhoun.
flood survivors has been in the works for months.
It's a dream come true.
For Rhonda Crawford, the monument could not have come sooner. Her son Mick lost his life during flood rescue efforts at 18 years old. He suffered from a cardiac arrest.
I've kind of made it my mission that I don't want his memory to ever be forgotten.
So Rhonda asked her daughter Rachel to design a monument to remember Mick, as well as the other 45 names listed on the monument.
Within just a small amount of time, she sent me a picture and said, "How about this?" And she had already drawn it up.
Crawford says they would not have been able to build the monument without the help from their pastor, Joe Engel, who immediately began to help raise the nearly $15,000 needed to bring the dream to life.
Didn't have to ask many people. Everyone was real helpful.
Engel says 2 people close to his heart are listed on the monument.
Those are not just names etched in stone, those are real lives.
On Wednesday afternoon, it was unveiled. After being built and sent from India and Africa, each name was hand-etched onto the stone, thanks to Heinemann Monument Company.
It turned out better than we even expected.
For those who lost a loved one from the July 2022 flood, they say this monument will help them to live on forever.
But it keeps their memory alive, and I think what Rhonda and her daughter have done is amazing.
What folks lost cannot be replaced, but those who came say that having this monument is just a testament of what Eastern Kentucky has been through and how they overcame throughout a tragedy. In Perry County, Amelia Lee, WYMT Mountain News.
Amelia, thank you very much. Now, in case you're wondering, that monument is real close to Hazard City Hall near the Veterans Memorial there. Basically, anytime you drive through downtown, you're going to go right by it. Officials hope benches may be added later so people can just come by, sit, and reflect.
Temperatures right now are still in the low to mid 90s. Some places seeing triple-digit heat index as well. Take a look at the maps right now. We're at 90 in Hazard, 92 in Jackson, as well as Prestonsburg, Moorhead, Ashland, Somerset, 95 degrees, 92 in Pikeville. Monticello is at 94. Monticello, though, look at your feels like temperature, 103. 101 in Ashland, 98 in Irvin, 99 in Manchester, 96 in Somerset, Louisville, and Lexington. They've cooled down a little bit with heat indices at 97 and 98 respectively. So the good news is there's relief on the way. The bad news is we have to stick with the 90s for the next couple of days. Live pinpoint Doppler radar showing a clean sweep across eastern Kentucky, but the next 12 hours keeps temperatures around 91 by the 7 o'clock hour, 85 by 9 o'clock. By the time you join us tonight for Mountain News at 11, look at that temperature, 82 degrees, mid-70s as we go throughout the first part of your Thursday morning. All right, so here's what we're going to first alert you to over the next several hours and days. Heat, heat, and more heat. We have that first alert weather day for Thursday and Friday because of the excessive heat and the dangerous heat index. Thunderstorm chances will start to ramp up, some places as early as tomorrow, some places Friday, but relief is on the way, and we'll talk about everything you need to know in the first alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. A Perry County jury has reached a verdict in a murder case. Troy Campbell was found guilty of reckless homicide. Police said Campbell shot and killed Ryan Whitaker in a driveway in February 2023. Campbell's attorney had argued he was acting in self-defense. Two people were attacked inside their Southern Kentucky home. The violence happened at the home of a retired London attorney. A woman is facing numerous charges from the event that left the two victims and the suspect hurt. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has a closer look at what took place.
When police showed up to the home on Heather Way in London, they say they found a woman in the front yard with a gunshot wound. That woman was identified as Heather Manning. She apparently was at the home of Joe T. and Judy Roberts. Those two people were inside the home also with injuries. Judy Roberts with more serious injuries such as a punctured lung, a possible fractured shoulder, and multiple broken ribs. Joe T. Roberts was also injured. Police say that he hurt his hand when he tried to stop Manning from yanking a telephone from the wall.
As the investigation is still ongoing, there's not a lot of details that we can release about it.
Police say they cannot release exactly why Heather Manning was there or what the motive was for the attack, but in the arrest warrant, they say Manning clearly instigated what took place before Joe T. Roberts was able to fire a weapon that left Manning injured as well.
Officers responded and they located Judy Roberts with quite a few injuries from an apparent armed confrontation that had been done by Manning.
And police say that when they did actually show up, it was the second time. The first time they had gone to the door, no one answered the door, and police say they later learned that this was because Heather Manning was holding the shotgun on the two Roberts and forcing them not to answer the door, all the while threatening them. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Heather Manning is charged with second-degree assault, fourth-degree assault, wanton endangerment, and unlawful imprisonment. She declined to talk to us today from the Fayette County Detention Center. Police are searching for two missing people in Letcher County. The search comes after a house fire in Jenkins on Monday. Police are searching for Tyler Newsom and Alicia Newsom. Officials have asked that anyone with information on the location of Tyler and Alicia to call 911. The idea of a federal prison in Letcher County is nearly 20 years in the making. Today, officials came together to welcome the director of the Bureau of Prisons. WYMT's Madison Carmouche was at the meeting and tells us how officials and community partners proved Roxana could be home to the facility.
Leaders in the region gathered in Whitesburg to tell the director of the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Colette Peters, why the system needs Letcher County and vice versa.
They're going to build a new prison, if not here, somewhere else. And I want them to do that here because they need a new prison because the ones we have are getting old. But we need the jobs.
After the loss of more than 14,000 coal jobs, government leaders continue their push for new industries to land in eastern Kentucky.
I know that 300 jobs is a drop in the bucket compared to what we lost in the coal industry, but that is a huge boost in the arm for a region that has been so desperate for jobs for many years.
A federal prison in Letcher County is expected to bring more than 300 jobs from the facility alone, but the reach will be generational.
There's people that can have an economic impact with their lives, being able to live right here in eastern Kentucky, never having to leave. They're not even born yet if this prison is brought here. That's the things we need to look at.
While it will bring jobs to eastern Kentuckians, it can also show new people eastern Kentuckians are bigger than what is shown in the media.
For those transplants that we have brought into this area, they are now deacons in churches, they are now foster parents, they are coaches in our schools. We took transplants and made them into mountain people. So we're proud of that. We're proud of our hospitality.
But building a better eastern Kentucky is what community partners say drives region unity. In Letcher County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Director Peters was unable to comment because officials are in the middle of the environmental impact statement review process. Crews will be working on the Hal Rogers Parkway in Laurel County soon. A highway safety improvement project begins Thursday at the junction of Jerry's Road. Officials say lanes will be closed as a result, and drivers should expect delays between 6 p.m. and 7 a.m. Officials have not determined a timeline for when that project will be completed.
Well, we tied a record today. 93 was our high, and that was the record high set back in 1995. Now, how long will the 90-degree heat last? I'll have the answer in a few minutes.
And sickness is spreading. COVID-19 cases are increasing. How to distinguish between allergies and those illnesses.